The very much hyped up snowmageddon that was forecasted turned into more of like a snow meh. It is, however, eyeball freezing cold out here. I think it's like 6 degrees. And we ended up getting probably, if I had to guess, 2 to 3 inches instead of the forecasted 13 inches. But, woo, but the temperature, holy schmoly. All of our ferments that we were keeping on the porch have now exploded. Here we go. That probably freaked out the cats, I'm sure. However, I'm just getting ready to make my food for the day. I usually just make one meal and kind of, I'll eat it until I'm full, and then I'll set it aside, pop it in the fridge or something, and then if I get hungry later in the day, I'll just pick it up and finish it. So I'm just getting ready to make that, and I thought that I would share with you today kind of how I consume my fermented foods. So let's get on it. This is kind of what I have almost every day and have had almost every day for very large chunks of the last year or so. I am a creature of habit, and this is delicious. Every different ferment that you put on it gives it a different flavor. Sometimes I'll mix it up and do ground beef. Sometimes I will substitute it out for our organic pork. I don't do the pork terribly often. It's usually going to be ground beef. Right now, Costco grass-fed beef patties are the most budget friendly, and right now we are on a budget. So I just have 3 of the patties with cheese. I have egg whites here that I cooked up, and then I separate them out and I just do the raw egg yolks. Feel grossed out if you want to, but it's freaking delicious and it makes like the best sauce. If I don't have cheese, I'll usually substitute it for butter instead. And then this is our pink kraut that we make at Crunchy Cultures, and I just literally take half of the jar. I don't recommend beginners do half a jar. Just do like a tablespoon. And there we go. And get every last little drop out of here. And by drop, I don't mean the liquid. That dilutes the egg yolk sauce. So, there we go. And I have 1, possibly 2 kombuchas that I will drink alongside of this, and of course this stuff, the brine. Do not throw this stuff away. This is fantastic if you're having heartburn issues. I don't have heartburn issues because I consume a tremendous amount of fermented foods, but this is a fantastic heartburn remedy. And the brine, it's kind of hard to gauge particularly, but I have seen reports and or studies and things like that that show that the brine actually has more probiotics than the actual food. So what do you do with this? You literally just drink it. I'm not kidding. But if you are more of a creative cook than I am, you can turn that into a lot of different things. You can use it as the vinegar in mayonnaise. You can use it to make all kinds of different delicious salad dressings. You can use it in a sauce. You can use it just to flavor various different things. You can also use this as a starter culture for another batch. I don't use starter cultures because I think it makes it taste not as savory and umami amazingness. I prefer a low and slow ferment, low temperature, very slow, and that's how we create our ferments at Crunchy Cultures, because that is what makes it taste the most delicious and it has the highest probiotic count. So don't waste the brine, use the brine. So I'm gonna go ahead and eat my food, and I'll bring you back later when either I consume something else or I'm gonna show you what Robert does with his fermented foods. Are the pickles done?
They're finished.
Wanna try one?
Sure, I'll try one. Whoa. Wow.
Powdery.
Might work as a spice though, but
Yeah, definitely just a spice.
hand to mouth now.
Woo! That is so strong.
Yeah.
Let's go hot.
So we can use these just, we just gotta grind them up. We're ready to use them. That way, you can add it to dishes, different kind of meals, and it should work.
Yeah, I would like to try that with a less fermented pickle. That is literally the most intense pickly sour flavor I have ever encountered.
Wow.
Let's replace it with some coffee.
So it's bitter.
Holy
So
moly.
it's sour, bitter, everything.
I didn't get any bitterness from it, but it was just so intensely sour. And then the powder.
All right, just save these, and when we're ready to use them, we can grind them up. Let's put these on long-term storage.
So he just gets the big, like 5 or 6 gallon bags, and then just cuts them up and uses this hair straightener, and that's how he seals them. I don't think you want to do your usual air sucking thing.
No.
I think that would probably destroy your lungs.
Yeah, probably.
Usually he'll put like a reusable plastic straw in there and close it up right up to the straw, and then just sucks with all of his might to get all of the air out and puts an oxygen absorber in there. But there have been a few times he regretted that. Usually it works out fantastic, but the more powdery ones don't, and I think this is one of them.
One 500 in there.
Oh, you're asking the wrong person. I have no idea.
One 500. Good. All air out. A little bit of air.
The more air you suck out, the less of the oxygen absorbers have to go in it. Because there's less oxygen to suck out.
Okay, there we go.
So Robert is actually in the middle of making some pizza dough. So I think I have an idea of what he's going to have for lunch, and we're going to share that with you guys, how he incorporates fermented foods into it. What you doing?
So I'm just trying to examine what I'm going to have with the pizza. Got a few things in there.
Yeah.
Got some chi, fire chi, or beet kraut. It's going to be one of those three. Or all. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. What flavor are you drinking of your kombucha?
This is orange.
Orange creamsicle?
Put a little piece off this. This homemade pizza took out the oven about 5 minutes ago. Still pretty warm. Got little sample pieces here. Let's start with the beet kraut. See what this fermented food adds to the pizza. A little bit on the outside. These basically are the same, so I think I'll go with the hot one.
Of course.
Of course, yes. Let's see what we got here. Doesn't work together at the same time. However, it does work. It's more of a palate cleanser. The hot kimchi here.
The light over there is weird.
This beet kraut here. Let's see. That actually works well together.
Is that the winner?
That's the winner. Beet kraut. I'm having beet kraut.
So you're just gonna pile the beet kraut on the side and just shovel it onto each bite.
Works better.
You're spilling it all over, everywhere,
Yeah. Ooh.
even on your pizza.
Beet kraut juice pizza. Yeah, it works. I think it's because of the ginger.
Probably.
And
And the umami.
Yeah. 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 It works. It's surprisingly.
You never know what's going to work together well.
So this is not really a palate cleanser. It just goes well with the pizza. Over this, you want to eat this separate. And eat the pizza for a while. A couple spoons of that.
What do you like to use the ramen, fire chi on?
I use it for ramen noodles.
And in your rice, you make like a Chinese.
Well, that too.
What is that? What did you compare it to?
It's sort of like similar Beijing beef as a Panda Express, but different. Yeah, so. What?
He's gonna go ahead and eat his pizza with his beet kraut.
That's right.
Another kombucha.
That is right. Just gonna have a random kombucha, maybe grape this time.
Kombucha is really good when you're drinking it with a meal because it's acidic and it helps your stomach acidify so you can better digest food. And if you have heartburn issues, which neither of us really does, it also helps with that.
Guess what? I'm gonna eat all of this in one sitting.
I'll believe it when I see it,
I will.
mister.
I will.
All right. I hope you do. So that is basically how we like to use fermented foods. I do basically the same thing every day. In fact, it is 2 days later and I had exactly the same thing yesterday. So I didn't bother to film it. And then my husband actually had the same exact thing as well. So we're kind of creatures of habits. I'm much more of a creature of habit than my husband is. He will definitely mix things up. He will try different things. He uses his fermented foods and creates all different kinds of dishes, whereas I just keep it simple. It is the best for me, it's the best for my health, my digestion, all my goals that I have, and it just works for me. And the variations of the fermented foods are plenty for me to have a variation in my diet. Robert also likes to make ramen. He'll put the kimchi in the ramen. Sometimes I'll have eggs and I'll like to put the kimchi on the eggs. I really enjoy curtido and putting that on my patties instead. When I have the pork, I will oftentimes put beet kraut on it. Beet kraut is really good with pork. But there's all different kinds of things that you can do. You can put it on top of salads. You can actually make a dressing out of it. You can put it on like hot dogs, hamburgers, sandwiches. I mean, really, the list is endless. The best way that you can use fermented foods is pretty much exactly what we've shown you. You just create your food and then you add the fermented food on top of it. That's basically all that we end up doing with it. There's nothing like sacrilegious about cooking with it. In fact, it's probably good if you do a little bit of cooked stuff and a little bit of not cooked stuff. There's a lot of studies out there that show that there are plenty of health benefits that are behind cooked foods as well as uncooked fermented foods. So don't be shy to do it. Just kind of mix it up and make sure that you get a variety of the fermented foods. That's kind of the main thing. During the market months, I also like to make milk kefir. It's just that milk kefir is, for me, I don't have cows and I have no intentions of getting one anytime soon. So I have to purchase the milk. So milk kefir tends to be one of the more expensive ones for me personally. If you have a homestead, if you have cows, if you have access to dairy, that one is the easiest fermented food to make. Milk kefir is also the most powerful fermented food that you can make. Scientifically studied, proven, all of the things. It has the highest probiotic count and variety of any fermented food on this planet. So I really like to do that in the months where we can afford to purchase dairy on a regular basis, because it is something that does have to be done regularly. Every day is ideal. Sometimes you can switch it up and make it every other day, but it is most definitely best done every day. You can make yogurt, you can make beet kvass, you can make all different kinds of kvass. If you have like leftover bread, you can even make like a rye kvass. Like there's the possibilities are endless, and the more variety that you add into your diet of fermented foods, the better, because you'll get the most diversity of probiotics, you'll get the most diversity of stages of probiotics. We like things that are long-term fermented, but one thing that I personally need to work on is having foods that are less fermented, because I want to have a variety of those probiotics in my diet, And when you're fermenting things, there's different probiotics at different stages of the ferment. So if you have something that was fermented for 1 week, it will have a different bacterial profile than something that was fermented for, say, 6 weeks, like we like to do. So fairly soon, we're actually going to be also making and offering different fermented foods that require different fermentation times, like pickles and salsa. Like the salsa just ferments for like 3 to 5 days, and the pickles probably maybe like 2 weeks. And I'm just spitballing those numbers, but they don't take as long of a fermentation time. So there's going to be a different set of probiotics in those fermented foods. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, getting a few ideas of ways that you can use fermented foods in your daily life. And peace out, sauerkraut.